everyone, I'm Vian and welcome back to my channel. We are now in the month of August and I know that most of us are gonna start another school year this month. And based on my experience during the last quarter of my senior year, it was really a struggle to adjust to the new normal, which are the online classes. It took me a while to really get the hang of things, if I did get the hang of things. Anyway, if you need some tips and tricks on how to take notes during your online classes, then this video is for you. So get comfy and keep on watching, and also subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Start off, here are my studying essentials. First and foremost, get your hands on the books that your teacher required. But if there's no book provided, you can use other learning materials that you have instead. Second, you'll need a gadget of your choice. Similar to what I said in my Essays Notes video, I use a lecture notebook or scratch papers first for my draft notes. And then I move on to my second notebook, which contains my revised notes. And of course, you'll need black pens, highlighters, and colored pens. First thing I do is go through my book. If before you think that buying school books aren't of any value, trust me when I tell you that they are lifesavers this year. But don't stress if you don't have a book with you, because you can just use the PowerPoint presentations and handouts that are provided by your professors. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be studying the anatomy and physiology of the blood. What I usually do is highlight the important texts on the book. Don't overdo it guys, baka excited kayo mag-highlight tas di naman pala importante. Char! Okay, not char. Huwag niyo talaga i-overdo kasi malilito lang kayo in the long run kung ano talaga yung mga dapat nyo tandaan. Okay? Okay. I just want to put it out there that I know how lucky and privileged I am to still be able to continue my studies given the circumstances, and that I'm doing this video since I know it can help a lot of you this year. After all the highlighting, I paraphrase what I just highlighted and write it in my lecture notebook. This is very helpful just because it's a way for you to actively learn and retain that information more in your pretty little mind. I do a lot of mapping method in my draft notes, as you can see in this clip, because I want to be aware of how one concept connects to the other. I found over time that this technique is very helpful, especially if you're studying a science subject. If the professor has an additional information during lecture that isn't tackled by the book, I make sure to write it down in my draft too. At times, I just use scratch paper for my draft notes, just because they tend to be super messy. But I found that using my used notebooks is a good alternative as well, especially when we're caring for the environment. I switch to a different environment from time to time because I tend to get bored of my surroundings and feel unmotivated to study. I also use the Pomodoro technique in studying, which is basically to study for 25 full minutes and take a 5-minute break after. This technique is a freaking lifesaver rather than just studying until my brain is fried. It's because without even realizing it, you have done so much in 25 minutes rather than a full hour of studying. This is me reminding you all to take a break. And if you reach this part of the video, comment down below your favorite folklore song. Yay! Malay nyo, may pa-giveaway ako. Char! Anyway, I ended up just studying a couple of pages from the book, and as you can see in my draft notes, I condensed the paragraphs and just wrote what's really important for me to learn. This is the mapping method that I was telling you guys about. After going through the book, I now watch video lessons about what I just read. Here are a few YouTube channels that you can use for learning. First is Crash Course, second is the Organic Chemistry Tutor, and third is Dr. John Campbell. Of all three, I enjoy learning most from Dr. John Campbell because I really felt like I was in a classroom setup and I felt like I was one of his students. Plus, he's also in favor of the mapping method that I keep telling you guys about. Whenever I self-study, I overthink things, like maybe what I'm studying is wrong, or maybe it's not enough, or what if this isn't a requirement? But at the end of the day, I get through these thoughts because I am reminded that I am studying purely for knowledge and not just for the high grades. The sooner you have a mindset like this, the better. Don't just study for the sake of getting a high mark during your exams, but study because you are the future of this world. And the last thing that I do is rewrite my notes. I always fold my paper in half because I find that this prevents me from wasting paper. Just like here in my previous notes. Look at how all those words are all packed up and organized. And then I pick a color scheme. Having a color scheme per topic is also helpful in keeping track when a topic starts and ends. This year, I want to go for a more simple note-taking system just because I know that college may be a tad bit more difficult than senior high school. Kung sinasabi nyo ngayon na ang sipag ko naman and all that, let me tell you that this whole process takes me days or even weeks, especially if I'm studying a lot of things. Minsan nga naiinggit ako sa mga classmates ko na just by reading, they can retain information. But then I realized no two people are the same, and we should be grateful for what we have today. And why would we not be masipag when we know how hard our parents work just to send us to college, right? I change this system from time to time, but you get the idea, right? And now here we have the side-by-side comparison of my draft notes and revised notes. As you can see, besides that the revised notes are more pleasing to the eye, it's also easier to understand and restudy when the time comes and you have to start memorizing all of these things. In conclusion, online classes are very hard and it's not for everyone. So I hope you learned a thing or two from me today on how to study on your own. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! Stream Folklore!